With the NFL season starting in just 2 days, I gotta give you guys my full NFL season predictions. This is exactly what I think is gonna go down during the season. This video is gonna consist of awards, playoff predictions. I'm not gonna go through every single playoff game I think is going to happen. I'm just gonna tell you guys the 7 teams I think that's making it from each conference, and then what the NFC and AFC championship games are going to look like. I'm going to start this video off really quickly with a surprise team that we should watch. We saw it 2 years ago with the Texans and CJ Stroud, last year with the Commanders and Jaden Daniels. So this year, and I don't think they're going to be good, I have them finishing 5-12, it is the Tennessee Titans. Let's get into some of these award picks, starting it off, and you guys see everything up in this corner right here. My MVP award is actually going to go to Joe Burrow. I think Burrow is going to have a huge season throwing the ball to both Ja'Marr Chase and T. Higgins. Burrow is the best passing quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion. Yes, I think he's better than Mahomes. I think that Burrow is going to have a huge comeback season, and I think the Bengals are going to be in for a big-time season. He was likely going to win MVP last year if they made the playoffs. My Offensive Player of the Year award really came down to 2 players. I'm not going Ja'Marr Chase, not going Saquon Barkley. For me, it was down to Bijan Robinson and CeeDee Lamb, but I ultimately ended up going with CeeDee Lamb, and this is kind of a biased pick. I have CD on 2 of my fantasy teams, want him to have a huge season. With a healthy Dak Prescott, though, I think he is going to have it. He's really like one of only 2 guys on that offense along with George Pickens. Defensive Player of the Year, again, this is a very straightforward pick. I think TJ Watt is finally going to break through and win it. I believe this will be his 2nd DPOY award. Rookie of the Year, again, I said the Titans are a surprise pick this year, or a team that could surprise a lot of people. Cam Ward is my Rookie of the Year pick. That could change a lot. It could be Travis Hunter, could be Gene, but for now, it is my Rookie of the Year pick. Offensive Rookie of the Year. A little biasy here, guys. A little biasy here. Could go Gene, could go Travis Hunter, but ultimately, I'd go with Omarion Hampton, my boy out of UNC, and the reason why I'm making this pick, not fully biased, I'm also saying this because UNC struggled so much in the game against TCU without Omarion Hampton. It's going to show, and he's going to be really good this year for the Chargers. Defensive Rookie of the Year, wanted to go with my boy Mykel Williams. Shout out, I just met him a few days ago, but I do got to go with Abdul Carter. He is the best defensive player going into the league. My Coach of the Year pick, and you are going to see this later on down the line, it is going to be John Harbaugh, and yes, I will explain this a little more in a few minutes. Comeback Player of the Year, I think almost all NFL fans can agree that this guy will win Comeback Player of the Year. It is going to be Christian McCaffrey, and there's no other right answer. If he stays healthy, he will win the award. And then last of all, the most entertaining pick of the entire thing, we got my Fan of the Year award, and that is going to be going to none other than myself. I'm not going to win it, very unlikely, but still, I gotta go for myself. Come on. Let's move into the standings right here. We're going to start it off right now with the AFC, getting the 1 seed in the AFC, finishing with a 14-3 record. I got the Baltimore Ravens, and I do think they are going to lose week 1 to the Bills, but I got the Ravens finishing 14-3. They got the best roster on paper in the NFL besides the Philadelphia Eagles. I got the Bills getting the 2 seed after a week 1 win, finishing 13-4. The Chiefs somewhere in that 12-5 range. They're going to win that division again, though. They come in as the 3 seed, and again, Texans 3 years in a row. They will be the 4 seed. Our wildcard teams in the AFC, pretty straightforward. As I said, I think Burrow is going to have a huge year. I've got the Bengals getting the 5 seed, somewhere around 12-5. Getting the 6 seed in the AFC, there's a lot of teams I think that could compete for it. But I got the Chargers getting the 6 and the Broncos getting the 7 with the best defense in the league. I do think that Bo Nix is going to have a struggle, or not the best year in his 2nd season. Moving on to the NFC, I like the Lions a lot. They're just going to get better. I think that losing Aaron Glenn on that defense hurt. Losing Ben Johnson on that offense hurt as well. But this team is getting their defense back healthy. I think they're going to have a huge year. They are going to win the NFC. My Niners also have a very easy schedule. Like, realistically, I don't think we're the 2nd best team in the NFC. We're probably realistically the 4th or the 5th best team. But our schedule is very easy. We have to take advantage of this. I think we can win up to 14 games this year. Maybe a bottom of like 8 or 9 possibly, but that's not going to happen. We're going to win 12 or 13, and we will get the 2 seed. I think the Eagles are going to finish in that same range, probably with the same record as the Niners. They're going to get the 3 seed, and getting the 4 seed, I've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers finishing 11-6, they're going to be very good, but I just don't think they are as good as the top 3 teams in the NFC. I got Deebo Samuel and the Washington Commanders coming in, getting the 5 seed. Jayden Daniels is going to have a really good season. It's just inevitable. Matthew Stafford and the Rams, and I just hate to say this, but like with Stafford, you are always contenders. I know he's beat up right now, but coming into the season, the Rams are very healthy besides Stafford. They will get the 6th seed. I think they'll finish with a 10 or 11 win season. And then getting a 7th seed, I do have the Green Bay Packers. I am very skeptical to put them any higher, and the reason why, and obviously they just got Micah Parsons, they've got a very good team on paper, but the reason why I am a little worried about putting them higher is because they play in a loaded conference or a loaded division, and I think they might struggle with some games against the Bears, Vikings, and especially the Lions. So with all of that being said, we come to the NFC Championship, where I unfortunately do not have my Niners. Obviously, if this was a biased prediction, I would have the Niners, and I'm going to say this one more time. The Niners, I believe, in my opinion, are 100% capable of getting to the NFC Championship. For sure capable, but I think the Lions and the Eagles on paper have a slightly better roster than the Niners. So I have the NFC Championship being the 1-seeded Lions and the 3-seeded Eagles, and the AFC Championship, and yes, this is finally the year where I think it's going to happen. I think that the 2-seeded Buffalo Bills will knock off Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. This is the year. Mahomes can't win every single year. He just can't. It's just not how football works. You can't win every single year. So yeah, Mahomes is going to go down to the divisional, and my AFC Championship will be the Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. With that being said, though, I do have the Lions beating the Eagles on the road. I don't think the Eagles are going to go back-to-back. And then I do have the Ravens beating the Bills, which will set us up for a Ravens and a Lions Super Bowl, where, as I said, I will come back to John Harbaugh somewhere in this video. And this is where I come back to talking about John Harbaugh. Usually the best coach in the NFL is on the team that wins the Super Bowl. It doesn't happen every year. And in fact, the last few years, it's actually not happening because Andy Reid has not won the award. Last year, Nick Sirianni did not win the award. Sean McVay a few years ago did not win the award. So I do think that this is the year. John Harbaugh will win Coach of the Year. I think he's the best coach. He's got an amazing roster with that entire Ravens team. And this is the year for Lamar. As I said, the Ravens team is so well put together. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens will win the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson is my Super Bowl MVP. Obviously, if I get all these predictions right, it would be very unlikely. This is very likely not what's going to happen, but I do think the Ravens is their year. Lamar, he is their guy. They've got an amazing secondary, great defensive line, obviously amazing running back group. Adding DeAndre Hopkins, huge to that wide receiver room. But as always, comment down below your predictions. I want to see some of your guys' boldest picks. Those are my picks. I definitely think a lot of those could hit. A lot of them aren't going to hit. And at the end of the year, I will react to these and see how on point I was with them. But that's it for this video, and peace.